Welcome back, K-drama fans. Today, we're diving into full summary part 2 of Love Next Door. Let me take you through the intense moments. We start with a heartwarming flashback to the time when Sok-ryu and Hae In-jun were at their happiest. Hae In-jun had just proposed to her, and everything seemed perfect. But life took a devastating turn when Sok-ryu was diagnosed with stomach cancer, throwing their world into turmoil. Back in the present, Sok-ryu is in the hospital but refuses to leave with Hae In-jun. She's still keeping her illness a secret from everyone, including Seung-ho, who arrives to take her home. In another flashback, we see Hae In-jun decide to take a leave from work to care for Sok-ryu, supporting her through the long, difficult battle with cancer. However, Sok-ryu chooses to hide her illness from her mother, feeling overwhelmed, lost, and utterly alone. Back in the present, Seung-ho takes out his frustration through baseball. He's angry and hurt that Sok-ryu leaned on Hae In-jun during her illness instead of turning to him. He confides in Moen, expressing his heartbreak. Meanwhile, Moen finds herself catching feelings for Dan-ho. Tensions rise for Sok-ryu at home, as her family pressures her about her decision to pursue her dream of becoming a chef. In an emotional scene, Sok-ryu meets Seung-ho after a heated argument with her mom. They go to a restaurant, and for a brief moment, Sok-ryu seems to enjoy herself. But her illness catches up with her, and she rushes to the bathroom to vomit, all while keeping her condition a secret from Seung-ho. There's a brief, lighter moment where Seung-ho's parents bond over fixing a broken washing machine, offering a moment of calm in the storm of Seung-ho's life. The episode takes a dramatic turn when Hae In-jun proposes to Sok-ryu again, hoping they can rekindle what they once had. But that night, Sok-ryu shares the news with Seung-ho, leaving him heartbroken as she turns him down. Meanwhile, Moen's feelings for Dan-ho deepen after reading his Heartfelt article, creating an unspoken connection between the two. Seung-ho's sleepless nights continue after his conversation with Sok-ryu, and to make matters worse, his company faces complications with a construction project. It's a stressful time for Seung-ho, but a momentary distraction comes when Mi-suk invites him to dinner, where he unexpectedly sees Sok-ryu. She directly turns him down, leaving him even more troubled. In her room, Sok-ryu recalls the depression she fell into after her cancer treatment. She remembers how it strained her relationship with Hae In-jun, and the truth is finally revealed: Hae In-jun never cheated on her. He was simply overwhelmed by the weight of her illness. When Hae In-jun proposes again, Sok-ryu gives a heartbreaking response: "I don't need love anymore. The stomach I have left can barely handle digesting my dream." With those words, she turns him down, determined to keep Seung-ho in the dark about her struggles. The next day, Moen finds herself spending time with Yeon-do, deepening her emotional journey as she grows closer to Dan-ho. At Seung-ho's company, things finally settle when they resolve the issue with the construction, but the pressure gets to Seung-ho, and he falls sick. In a dream, he remembers how Sok-ryu was always there for him whenever he was ill. And when he wakes up, he finds her by his side once again. But this time, he asks her to leave, deciding he can no longer be friends with her. Then, the episode hits us with a bombshell. Seung-ho stumbles upon Sok-ryu's hospital report and learns about her cancer. The confrontation that follows is filled with raw emotion and heartbreak. As if things weren't intense enough, Sok-ryu's mother and Seung-ho's mother also find out about her illness, adding even more tension to an already emotionally charged episode. That's it for episode 9 of Love Next Door. Episode 10 starts with Sok-ryu's family discovering her illness. Her mother is devastated, and Seung-ho is left in disbelief when he sees her hospital report. The family is overwhelmed, while Sok-ryu tries to convince everyone she's okay. We learn that Seung-ho was in the US when Sok-ryu was first diagnosed. After seeing her with Hae In-jun, he distanced himself, leaving Sok-ryu to face her struggles alone. Now, he's filled with guilt and anger. The next day, the family tries to act normal, but their swollen eyes give them away. Sok-ryu's parents and even her brother, Dong-jin, try to be more supportive, while Moen rushes to comfort her friend. In a lighter moment, Moen accidentally throws Dan-ho, showing off her martial arts skills. Afterward, Dan-ho shares the tragic story of losing his wife in an accident 2 years ago, with their daughter Yeondu being the only survivor. In a vulnerable moment, Moen kisses Dan-ho, but overwhelmed by her emotions, she panics and quickly runs away. Later, Seung-ho confronts Sok-ryu at a playground, accusing her of selfishness for hiding her pain. They argue, but Sok-ryu walks away, leaving Seung-ho feeling even more frustrated. The next day, Sok-ryu, after overhearing her parents expressing regret over how they had treated her, feels conflicted. After that, Sok-ryu goes missing, leaving her family in a panic. Seung-ho searches everywhere and finds her by the beach, where she explains that she needed time to reflect. Seung-ho encourages Sok-ryu to let go of her emotions, and she finally breaks down. They reminisce about their childhood, sharing a tender moment of understanding. Later, Sok-ryu receives good news, her biopsy results show it's just inflammation. Relieved, Seung-ho hugs her, and the family throws a welcome home party, vowing to stick together. Meanwhile, Seung-ho's father plans to have lunch with Hae-suk, thinking about the good times they've had. But when he arrives at her workplace, he sees her with the vice minister again and overhears some troubling rumors about them. Feeling crushed, he goes home that night and tells Hae-suk he wants a divorce. As the episode closes, Hae In-jun decides to leave for the US. Sok-ryu and Seung-ho rush to the airport for an emotional farewell. This time, Sok-ryu says goodbye for good. That's it for episode 10 of Love Next Door. Episode 11 begin with a flashback where Sok-ryu and Moen's class make cakes. They plan to give them to Seung-ho but are surprised by a group of high school girls with the same idea. Moen comments on Seung-ho's popularity, leaving Sok-ryu feeling a bit bitter. In the present, it's the day after Sok-ryu cried her eyes out. She puts on a face mask to relax. While scrolling through her phone, she comes across a picture of the milk carton set to expire that day, sparking thoughts of Seung-ho. Seung-ho joins her family for breakfast but feels a sense of loneliness, reflecting on how happy they seem together. Hae-suk reflects on the previous night when Jae Yeongjong asked for a divorce. Later, she informs him that she's been reassigned to Africa. Later, Sok-ryu asks Seung-ho to help translate a French cookbook. While recording his voice, she dozes off and wakes to find him asleep beside her. She reaches out to touch his face, but when he wakes up, things get awkward as he bumps into Moen on his way out. She quickly buys him an ice pack at the pharmacy but hurriedly leaves when she spots Dan-ho approaching. Later, as the milk bottle's expiration date arrives, both Seung-ho and Sok-ryu are aware of it, with each quietly thinking about the other. Meanwhile, Moen and Dan-ho face an awkward moment after their kiss. They both apologize Moen for initiating it and Dan-ho for not stopping it. Hae-suk, Seung-ho's mother, suggests a family dinner, but things take a sharp turn when Seung-ho learns that his parents are getting a divorce. A flashback reveals a heated argument between them, with Hae-suk saying she regrets having him, leaving young Seung-ho deeply scarred. Seung-ho drowns his sorrows in alcohol, confessing to Sok-ryu that he's always envied her close-knit family. She helps him back to his office, where she spots the expired milk carton, a symbol of their past. The next day, Seung-ho's parents go to finalize their divorce, but things take a turn when Hae-suk goes missing. After a frantic search, they find her injured near a Buddhist temple. Hae-suk and her husband finally open up to each other, leading to a heartfelt reconciliation. Sok-ryu, listening to Seung-ho's French translation of the cookbook, deciphers his hidden confession of love using an app. Realizing her feelings, she tracks him down and asks him out, sharing a sweet moment with banana milk in a flower field. That wraps up episode 11 of Love Next Door. We kick off episode 12 of Love Next Door with Seung-ho and Sok-ryu sharing their first kiss. Things are getting serious, and it's clear there's no turning back for these two. They're seen drinking banana milk together, but Sok-ryu feels embarrassed explaining why she came all the way from Seoul to see him. Later that night, unable to sleep, the couple sneak out to meet under the stars. Seung-ho confesses how much he likes Sok-ryu, and together they decide to keep their budding romance a secret for now. The next day, they return home only to find Mi-suk trying to set Sok-ryu up on a blind date. Sok-ryu and Seung-ho awkwardly make excuses, brushing it off. Meanwhile, Moen gets some exciting news: an interview for the Antarctica mission. Moen takes Yeondu and Dan-ho on a camping trip. While Yeondu sleeps, Moen shares her desire to become Yeondu's mother and confesses her feelings for Dan-ho. But heartbreak follows as Dan-ho rejects her, leaving Moen shattered. Elsewhere, Seung-ho's father, Jae Yeong-jong, confronts the vice minister, suspecting him of having an affair with Hae-suk. But to his surprise, the vice minister is actually gay, squashing the rumor once and for all. Meanwhile, Hae-suk visits the doctor after her health scare and learns she's suffering from short-term memory loss, caused by stress rather than any serious illness. A sigh of relief for her and her family. Seung-ho and Sok-ryu try to enjoy a movie date, but the atmosphere feels tense. Sok-ryu starts feeling isolated and uncomfortable, leading to an argument later when she finds Seung-ho working closely with Tae-hwee. Sok-ryu leaves in frustration, but soon regrets her outburst. Meanwhile, Sok-ryu and Seung-ho's parents plan to set them up on blind dates, but the couple is too proud to admit how much they miss each other. At the same time, things between Moen and Dan-ho are awkward, and Yeondu starts pulling away from Moen. Late at night, Sok-ryu and Seung-ho cross paths and finally clear the air. They confess their feelings, share an intimate moment, and seal it with a kiss at Sok-ryu's house, just as the episode comes to a close. That wraps up part 2 of Love Next Door. We've covered episodes 9 to 12. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more recaps and updates. See you in the next episode.